Our story begins in what appears to be a peaceful setting behind Goku's house, but we soon then realize a Super Saiyan Goten and base form Goku are getting ready to spar again. Goku begins saying, "Alright Goten, one more time. This time, you have to try and get a hit in. Come on, I know you can do it. You're a Super Saiyan." Goten immediately rushes in. But Goku instantly blocks and says with a smile, "Wow, not bad Goten. That one actually stung to block. Now don't stop there. Follow through. Don't give me any time to think or react." Again, however, it's blocked with ease. Come on Goten, that was way too slow and way too predictable. If you want to get stronger than your old man, you need to do a lot better than that. Get angry, son! Goten, hearing his father's words, immediately begins to build up strength, readying his most powerful attack, but before he can do anything, Goku's face changes from smiling to serious. And in an instant, Goten is punched in the gut and immediately is reverted back to base form. Goten lands back, however, winded but not unconscious. He complains with tears in his eyes. "Ouch, Dad! That one hurt way too much. I thought you said you were going to go easy on me and told me to get angry and attack. I can't do any more training after that one." Goku responds, "Haha, I was taking it easy, son. I told you to get angry. I didn't tell you to take your time and make it so obvious you're powering up your attack. It needs to be faster and less choreographed. It was so slow, I just couldn't help but hit you while you were wide open. Sorry." Goten, disappointed in himself, then responds, "Gosh Dad, who taught you all of this stuff? How did you learn to fight and all these different tips? This is hell compared to when Mom trained me. Who was your teacher? Was it your dad?" Goku then suddenly is a little taken aback by Goten's question. "My dad, huh?" He thinks to himself, "Well, actually, I came to this planet when I was a baby, and it was my grandpa Gohan who raised me. And from what I heard, I was a pretty crazy child. I'd attack him constantly and break everything. But over time, Gramps managed to tame me. My memory is a bit fuzzy because I think I bumped my head at one point, but from that day, Gramps taught me everything he knew about fighting, which I'd later improve on with his master, Master Roshi, and others after him." Goten, super excited after hearing about Gohan for the first time, yells, "Wow! Grandpa Gohan? So that's how Gohan was named, huh? And so he's my great-grandpa? I can't believe I never met him. How strong was he? And how did he arrive on Earth from planet Vegeta before you? And where did your mom and dad go?" Goku responds quickly, however, "No, Goten. Grandpa Gohan was an Earthling. He raised me like his own, but we weren't related. And my dad wasn't here. I never met him. All I remember is Grandpa Gohan." "What? Dad! You need to go meet your father! How can you go through life not wondering what he's like? I'm excited just thinking about it. I've never had a Saiyan grandpa, and neither has Trunks. This would be so cool. Just imagine, if you're my dad and this much stronger than me, just think how much stronger your dad must be compared to you. I bet he's that legendary Saiyan Lord Beerus used to talk about. Dad, use your instant transmission and go and see him. But can I come too? I've never been to the other world." Goku, however, responds, "Well, I can't use instant transmission to get to someone I don't know because I've never met him, so I don't know his key signature. But you're right about one thing. He could be super strong by now. In Otherworld, there are a ton of strong fighters to train with, and if he's a Saiyan, then he wouldn't have just sat around." Goten, hearing this, immediately gets an idea, however. "Well then, in that case, let's just use the Dragon Balls to revive him, Dad. That way me and Gohan can meet him too. You don't need to find him. He's been dead for a long time, but Trunks told me the Dragon Balls they used before at Capsule Corp are upgraded ones from Dende. They can bring anyone back to life, so all we need to do is find them again." Goku thinks one more time and says, I guess we could do that. Now that you've mentioned it, I'm really curious to see what he looks like. I bet he looks nothing like me or you. Only thing is, he's still a Saiyan and unpredictable. I just hope he's not evil like Raditz. That guy was horrible. I'd never bring him back. Raditz? Who's that? Is that another family member? Goku, however, thinks in his head about what happened the last time Raditz was here, and so avoids revealing he's Goten's uncle, anticipating that he would just ask to meet him too. He's a nobody, an old friend of Vegeta's back when he was evil too. Definitely not somebody we need to talk about. Alright, you win, Goten. We're going to bring back your grandpa and see just how strong my dad really is. Let's go tell Gohan too, so he can meet him as well. Goten excitedly replies, Yes! Thanks, Dad. This is going to be awesome. Let's go now, I'm so ready. Can't wait to tell Trunks all about it. And so, with the help of instant transmission, Goku teleports with Goten immediately to Gohan, who is standing outside of Pan. Goku begins explaining the situation and what they plan on doing, and despite the great big smile on Goku's face, Gohan has some reservations, which he tries to hide to not discourage the excitement of both his dad and little brother. Goku begins, So what do you say, Gohan? You want to meet your granddad? We're going to need you to help gather the Dragon Balls if little Pan doesn't mind. The oblivious baby Pan then just smiles and giggles, while Gohan then replies, well, I mean, if you think it's a good idea, Dad, then I'm on board. My experience with Saiyans hasn't been the greatest, especially as a child, so I'll help you out and revive him, but just to be safe, I'm going to leave Pan with Videl if that's alright. Goku, still smiling, responds, Yeah, no problem, I don't blame you. Alright, we'll be back in a bit with the Dragon Radars, and we can start. And so, after some time, with the help of the Dragon Radars and power of 3 Super Saiyans, the Dragon Balls are found in record time all over the Earth. Goku finds 4, Goten finds 2, and Gohan finds the very last one. They decide to return back to Goku's home so that Chi-Chi too can be there to witness the revival of her father-in-law. Chi-Chi is immediately very excited at the idea, being such a family-orientated woman. She exclaims, What an amazing idea, Goku! We should have done this so long ago when we got married! I would have loved to have met your father and mother back then. But I guess it's better late than never. As she finishes, the Dragon Balls finally begin to glow, and Shenron finally emerges. Shenron stares at Goku and demands,
I am Shenron. Tell me your first wish.
Goku, with confidence in his voice, then yells, Shenron, I want you to revive my father and bring him to Earth. As Goku demands this, there's a brief pause before Shenron replies,
Very well. Your wish shall be granted.
And Shenron's eyes begin to glow. Suddenly, a few feet away from Goku, a shadowy figure with familiar hair appears. Goku stares back and mutters, Dad, is that you? And staring back, completely confused at what just happened, is Bardock, the father of Goku. Chi-Chi, Goku, Gohan and Goten see him for the first time and can't quite believe or understand what they're seeing. The bewildered Bardock then begins, Huh? What is this? Where am I? Who are these people? Wait! Bardock stares into the distance and notices Goten. Suddenly, he gets an intense and vivid flashback to the baby Kakarot before he was sent away. Kakarot! Is that you? Is it really you? It can't be! Goten just looks back more confused than anyone. Huh? Who's a carrot? Immediately, Bardock runs and holds Goten into the air, staring at him, continuing, Kakarot! It is you! That hair! You've grown! But not that much. How long have I been dead? I thought it'd been at least 20 years or so. Or has this planet's food somehow stunted your growth? Goten, however, just responds, "Let me go, Grandpa. I'm not a carrot. My name's Goten." Bardock is understandably confused at his response. Huh? Goten? When a voice from behind interrupts, "Hey Dad, I think it might be me you're looking for." Bardock turns around and begins to realize that this is who Kakarot is, and without a word, immediately hugs Goku. At first, Goku's a bit taken aback with the emotion coming from a Saiyan, but then naturally feels the love of his own father and hugs him back. He quietly tells him, "Welcome back, Dad. I'm sorry I took so long." And just as quietly, Bardock responds, "It's okay, son. I could hold on to you for hours. I almost don't want to let go ever again. You've grown. Now how about you introduce me to your friends?" Goku lets go now happy and immediately corrects Bardock saying, "Haha, not so much my friends, Dad, but these are my two sons. Here's my first son, Gohan. He's 23 and has a child of his own now. So you're a great grandpa. And this little guy is Goten, my second son. He's 13. Goten smiles back and waves saying, "Haha, yep, I'm Goten, Gramps, not a carrot." Bardock then goes over to Gohan with a smile and places his hand on his shoulder. "So, this is my first grandson. You look a lot like one of my old friends. 23, huh? What's your child's name?" Gohan, feeling strangely comfortable with Bardock, replies, "Her name's Pan, sir. I mean Grandpa." Bardock responds, "Pan? You guys sure pick some strange names around here." He then turns and looks down towards Goten and places his hand on his head. "And so, you're Goten. Sorry for calling you Kakarot earlier. Should have known you weren't. You're a lot more handsome and stronger looking than he was." Goten just laughs and smiles back, calmed in the presence of Bardock. Bardock, however, then turns to Goku with a serious face and gets straight to business. "So, Kakarot, it looks like I've been dead for a long time. Clearly you've been able to revive me. So what took you so long? After all we did, why exactly did you leave us behind, Kakarot?" Goku is quick to retort though that it wasn't as simple as that. "Well, Dad, when I first landed on Earth, I was still a baby. I couldn't even make it out of the space pod until an old man here on Earth found me and took me under his care. He became known as my grandpa Gohan, and at first I was a handful. I'd break things and attack him constantly, but one day my restlessness caused me to fall and knock my head on a rock. Grandpa nursed me back to health, but I was never the same after that. I was well behaved and a happy young boy apparently, but I also completely forgot about my Saiyan past, and with it, you too. So yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing to remember parents who I didn't even know existed. I hope you don't mind." Bardock, understanding Goku's situation, finally responds, "Huh, well I guess that explains it. Honestly, you were dopey and restless even back on planet Vegeta. To think it caused you to nearly fall to your death here. I guess it worked out for the best in the end. But I do have more questions. In all this time, what have you actually been doing apart from starting a family? What's life like for a Saiyan who forgets they're even a Saiyan?" Goku then explains, however, he wasn't just sitting around. He fought many battles as he defended the Earth on multiple occasions from aliens and invaders all over the universe. He even fought Raditz one time and died as a result along with him. But as soon as Bardock gets wind of the fact Raditz and Goku fought and that Goku is the one who killed Raditz, he's immediately outraged. "What do you mean you fought Raditz? Why? How could you kill your own brother? Especially after we lost our home. We sacrificed everything so that you two could survive. You ended up being a part of his death. Explain yourself now, Kakarot." Goku, however, sensing Bardock's anger, reassures him, "Listen Dad, it wasn't as simple as that either. Raditz came here looking to destroy everyone here, including my new family. He took Gohan as a little child and told me he would either kill him or force him to travel space with him and his crew if I didn't kill 100 humans and leave the Earth with him. He left me no choice, and in the end, with the help of a friend named Piccolo, we were just about able to stop him." Bardock soon comes to some understanding and responds, "Huh, you two are truly idiots, fighting for no reason, risking your precious lives after being so lucky to have them. Raditz was always a follower. He probably did this on the orders of that punk prince, Vegeta. So I won't blame him. But you, Kakarot, judging by the fact you needed help to defeat him, it looks like your early baby power level readings were right. You are a weakling. But I guess on a low power level planet like this, it was inevitable. At least you're happy." Goku, however, begins to smirk, realizing his father has got it all wrong. He tells him, "Haha, I'm happy, yeah, but I wouldn't be so sure that I'm a weakling, Dad. I guess I can show you a few things, and you can tell me if I fit your requirements for strong." Bardock just looks back perplexed at Goku's words. Just like that, Goku becomes a Super Saiyan right in front of Bardock, shocking him immediately. So this, Dad, is what you might know as a Super Saiyan. But it doesn't end here. This is a Super Saiyan 2. This is a Super Saiyan 3. This is Super Saiyan God. And beyond this is a Super Saiyan Blue, otherwise known as a Super Saiyan version of a Super Saiyan God. But beyond this, I have even tapped into the powers of angels. And just like that, with complete mastery, Goku enters his mastered Ultra Instinct form, all to the absolute shock of Bardock. What? Seeing all 6 forms of Goku at once, each more insanely powerful than the last, leaves Bardock unable to even reply. His eyes remain wide open, unable to close, as he just stares at Goku in his divine state. Finally he mutters, Kakarot, this must be a dream! How on earth did my son do all of this? He begins to flash back to Frieza and the final moments before Planet Vegeta's destruction. I remember now, how the sole reason Frieza feared the Saiyans was because of a fear of a legendary warrior known as the Super Saiyan would emerge one day and beat him. It was a myth then, but all along, it was Kakarot. Kakarot was somehow the legendary one chosen every 1,000 years. My son was a Super Saiyan! He soon then realizes that everything him and Gine did, their gamble on saving Kakarot, was all worth it. They somehow saved the only Saiyan capable of becoming a Super Saiyan out of all of Planet Vegeta. He stares at Goku as he mumbles in happiness. It's incredible how fate works. I'm proud of you, son. I was wrong. You're a Saiyan through and through. The pride of our race even. A legend I can't wait to brag about back in hell one day. Ha ha ha. He turns towards Goten again and pats him on the head saying, just look at your old man. You need to become just like him one day. It's in your genes after all. Ha ha ha. But I suppose you're still young. Goten looks back a little confused and replies, wait, you mean like this? Ha! Then immediately turns into a Super Saiyan as well. What? Bardock responds, holding his chest in shock before Gohan interrupts, or this. Ha! And turns straight into a Super Saiyan 2. He cannot believe his eyes as the entire Saiyan legend of the Super Saiyan begins to crumble. He now wonders once again if this is actually reality. What is going on here? How are two kids also Super Saiyans? Two half-breeds at that. Just what happened to the Saiyans left behind after we were destroyed? He sits back in awe, staring at the three incredibly powerful transformations standing before him, each related to him by blood, his son and his two grandsons. His heart continues to bounce rapidly while in shock until a voice from afar intervenes. Oh, you boys, you're going to give your poor old grandpa a heart attack. Hearing Chi-Chi's words, all three agree and power back down to base. Before cracking up laughing at the situation, Goku yells, "Oh Dad, you should have seen your face! You were more shocked at Goten just showing you Super Saiyan than me showing you all the other forms!" Bardock awkwardly remains silent, thinking about this new family dynamic he finds himself in, where he's the butt of the joke. He thinks, poor old grandpa? I didn't even age in hell. I'm probably younger than Kakarot right now. Anyway, who is that woman, Kakarot? Is she your mistress or concubine? Goku replies proudly though, I don't know what any of those words mean, but this is Chi-Chi. She's my wife and the mother of Gohan and Goten. What? Your wife? Of course! You have a true family here. A smile comes across Bardock's face as he looks at Chi-Chi. In many ways, her demeanor and peacefulness reminds him greatly of Gine. He begins talking saying, "So, you're the woman behind Mr. Super Saiyan, huh? It's a pleasure to meet you." Chi-Chi blushing responds, "That would be me. It's so nice to meet you too, father-in-law. As Goku said, my name is Chi-Chi. What's yours?" Bardock then immediately grabs onto Chi-Chi's hands and says, "You've picked a fine woman, Kakarot. I can sense her love, her strength for raising two boys, and her patience for dealing with a fool like you. My name is Bardock, and I can just bet from the way you are, you and Gine must be getting along perfectly. I haven't had a home-cooked meal from her in decades. Kakarot, where is she? Bring her out for me." Goku, however, looks puzzled and replies, "Gine? Her? Who's that? Do I have another brother?" Bardock is stunned at what Kakarot is saying and replies, What are you saying, Kakarot? Gine is your mother! Are you telling me you revived me and not your own mother, the woman who gave birth to you? What kind of man are you?" Goku puts his hand behind his head, feeling bad as he still doesn't know what he did wrong. He begins, "Oh, sorry. Like I said, I totally forgot about you guys when I hit my head. I've never had a mother figure in my life, so I just wasn't thinking. If she's important to you, I still have 2 wishes I can make." But on hearing Goku's words, Bardock is immediately disappointed. He starts saying, "If she's important to me. What about if she's important to you, Kakarot? It's only just come to me that by forgetting your Saiyan past, you also forgot about the great and never-ending love your mother Gine had for you, and her last act to save your life. You see, Kakarot, when Frieza was just about to destroy planet Vegeta, it was I who returned and told your mother of the idea to send you away to protect you. But I, being a combat leader, rarely ever saw you. The person who watched over you since birth, every day, was your mother. You were her little baby, and she loved you like no other, and the idea of sending you off broke her heart in 2. Still, to save you, she not only helped steal a space pod in the middle of the night, but also handpicked this planet, Earth, as your destination, knowing that you would be able to grow up and survive even with your low power level. She sat on your spacepod window and cried tears of sadness as she said her final goodbyes to her baby boy. And with that, left you to escape, while she died in mourning of never being able to see her son Kakarot ever again, longing even to this day to hug you one last time. Immediately upon hearing this true story of Goku's mother, the entire Son family reacts in sadness, and Goku, feeling a connection to his mother, immediately begins to break down, with tears falling down his face uncontrollably. He says silently as he cries, "Gine, my mother, I never knew." While Goku reflects, however, Shenron realizes he's just been summoned for this entire time and has been unable to interrupt the touching reunion. He finally chimes in,
Ahem! Sorry to spoil this heartwarming scene, but I have places to be. Name your next wish or send me away.
Goku, listening to Shenron's words, begins to wipe away his tears, and with a newfound conviction, then demands of Shenron, "Shenron, I want you to wish back my mother Gine so she can finally see her son!" Shenron responds instantly,
Your wish shall be granted.
and as Shenron's eyes glow, a figure appears and Bardock just looks on with a smile. Our story continues after Goku has just revived his mother Gine after hearing of her sacrifice from Bardock. Understandably, Gine stands completely shocked and looks into the distance, seeing Goku and Bardock staring back at her. Goku mutters, "Mom, is that you?" While Bardock excitedly yells, "Gine! You did it, Kakarot! She's back!" As she looks over at the two very similar looking figures, she continues to think to herself, who are these people? Before she suddenly recognizes one of them, or at least she thinks so. "Bardock! My love! I've missed you so much!" And mistakenly runs straight for Goku. Bardock awkwardly reacts, "Huh? Gine?" While Goku is shocked as his mother runs to him thinking he's his father. Wait! "Come give me a kiss, honey. Where on earth did you go? Don't leave me again." Closing her eyes and pouting, ready to kiss the wrong man. Goku reacts fast, however, to move his head away before yelling at her, "Gine, stop! I'm not Bardock!" Gine, noticing the voice is totally different to Bardock's, opens her eyes in complete confusion. She has no idea who this man with Bardock's hair is, but it's clear now he isn't her husband. She then hears two coughs from behind. Gine, I'm over here, my dear. Now please stop trying to kiss him, please. You're scaring the guy." Gine's face immediately drops in embarrassment. Sorry about that." But as she apologizes, she double takes between the two, still not knowing what's going on, before Goku breaks the silence and says, "Hi Mum, my name's Goku. I wished you back after Dad told me all about you. It's really nice to meet you finally." Gine, still not computing what Goku has said entirely, mutters, "Mum? Goku? What's going on here?" Bardock then intervenes to help out and says, "Gine, whether dead or alive, you being slow never changes, does it? That man over there is our baby boy, Kakarot. His name on this planet is Goku." Gine replies, absolutely shell-shocked. "What? Kakarot?" Hearing these words in disbelief, Gine looks Goku up and down, before sensing with her motherly instinct that this grown man is indeed her son, and her eyes immediately begin to water up as she mutters, "It's you! It's really you!" Almost instantly, a flashback of all the memories she's kept hidden after all these years comes back to her, about Kakarot's time as a baby, her final moments with him, and her constant worry about whether he reached Earth safely. As the tears begin to flood down her cheeks, she softly continues saying, "My baby boy, you survived. After all these years, I finally got to be with you again, and look at you. You're even bigger than your dad, and just as handsome. I can't believe it's you. If this is a dream, I never want to wake up. She then pauses as the tears and emotion get too much for her, rendering her unable to speak, and she immediately grabs Goku to hug him. Goku looks at her awkwardly at first, with his low emotional intelligence meaning he can't quite understand whether she's happy or sad. He comments, Mum, did I do something wrong? I'm sorry I took so long. I promise I have a good reason for not doing it sooner. Please don't cry. I didn't mean to. But Gine, still holding tight onto her son Goku, interrupts and tells him, Just shush, Kakarot. You haven't done anything wrong. I've just missed you so much and dreamt of this day for so long. You have no idea how happy I am to finally be with you again, my son. I never want to let go of you again. But go on, tell me, what's even happened here? How am I back and why did it happen now years later? I missed your whole childhood. Goku then explains carefully to her, I know, Mum, I'm sorry. I wished you back with these 7 special orbs here on Earth. We call them the Dragon Balls. They allowed me to wish both you and Dad back. But I never did this before because when I came to Earth, I bumped my head and lost all my memories. I grew up never knowing about you guys. And it's only now did I just by chance get the urge to find out who my real parents were. I'm sorry. Bardock with a slightly disappointed face adds, Yep, quite the story. It seems our idiot son was quite the handful as a baby. It led to him falling down a ravine from what he said. Can't say I'm surprised, Gine. Are you? Gine then looks up to think about the past and starts to remember just how much of a loud, crying and restless baby Kakarot was. Now that I think about it, you were such a nightmare as a baby, Kakarot. You were crying all the time and causing all kinds of damage. Paragus' wife used to complain to me all the time about how your crying kept her baby son awake. But still, you were my little crybaby, and it's just so sad for me to see that I missed you growing up into a man. If only I could hold that baby version of you one more time. Goku, however, trying to chirp up the mood, interjects, Well, don't be too sad, Mum. I'm still young at heart, and we can make up for lost time now. I'll always be your baby boy. Haha. Awkwardly, Goku appears to be envisioning something that no mother should see. But of course, he's completely oblivious. With Goku's comedic reply brightening the mood, Gine smiles and replies, Haha. Oh, you big fool. I see you got my sense of humor. At least now, as your mother, I can at least take care of you as an adult and help you find a good wife. I don't know much about the women on this planet, but I know only the best and most beautiful is good enough for my handsome little boy. We just have to make sure you're careful. I never aged when I was in hell, so I'm still way too young to be a grandmother just yet. Haha. Goku, hearing this though, just awkwardly places his hand behind his head and begins to tell her the reality of his life. Yeah, about that. I kind of already have a wife and 2 kids as well. Actually, I've got a grandchild too, so technically, Mum, you're a great grandmother. What? Gine looks back completely stunned. She hadn't realized just how long it'd been and didn't anticipate Goku's life to have progressed so much. Goku then continues, pointing to his left. If you didn't notice, they were actually standing over there. Gine slowly turns around to her right and sees in the distance 3 blurry figures. She suddenly realizes it's a lady and 2 young boys. Standing at a distance, Chi-Chi, Goten and Gohan wave to get her attention with awkward smiles. Wow, Kakarot, you weren't lying. There they are. And immediately then runs over to Goten and pats his head, recognizing him instantly due to his resemblance to baby Kakarot. So, you're my grandson. How could you not be with that head of hair? You're just like Kakarot. Goten replies a little annoyed, saying, Thanks, Grandma, But like I told Grandpa, I'm not a carrot. My name's Goten, Grandma. Gine then smiles and says, "Oh, so polite and soft-spoken." Goten: "Well, that's a lovely name. Your mother and father chose well." Goten is then left happy in her calming presence as if he's known her his whole life. She then walks over and sees Gohan and says, "Wow, look at you. I didn't realize I had such a handsome grandson. You look like a real Saiyan. What's your name, sweetheart?" Gohan then replies, "Gohan, Grandma. It's nice to meet you. Sorry I couldn't introduce you to my daughter. She's at home with my wife." Gine replies, "Your wife? How long have I been dead for? Even my grandson is married, let alone my son. What's your daughter's name?" Gohan then replies, "Pan." Gine, trying not to be rude, smiles back but thinks in her head, "Goten, Gohan, Pan? Strange names on this planet, but if that's what Kakarot picked, then so be it." She then speaks out loud, "Now, where is this wife of yours, Kakarot? I bet she's beautiful, just like your mother." While Chi-Chi approaches from behind. She extends her hand for a handshake and says politely, "Hi there, mother-in-law. I'm Chi-Chi, Goku's wife. I can't believe I finally get to meet you. You're stunning." However, when Gine looks back, she's stunned and grimaces as she brutally replies, You're kidding, right? You're my son's wife? I thought you were her mother. Kakarot, she looks older than me. What were you thinking?" Immediately, Bardock facepalms himself, almost expecting this to happen, but still cringing all the same, and says, "Oh god, Kakarot, one thing I forgot to tell you. Your mother may be sweet on the outside, but when it comes to other women, she's as vicious as it gets. This isn't going to end well." Surprisingly, however, Chi-Chi then, with a vein popping and trying to keep her calm, says, "Well, I'm sorry, Gine, but not all of us were able to not age in the afterlife for the last 30 years. But I'm going to forget I heard that from Goku's mother, so we can all get along." But Gine, unyielding, then carries on, "No, not really. We Saiyans rarely age and change in appearance until much later on. If I was your age, I'd still look the same. You look like you could be my mother, to be honest." At which point, Chi-Chi then snaps and screams, "That's it, lady! You're going back to hell right now, and I'm the one sending you there!" As Chi-Chi's rage and power level inexplicably builds, Gohan and Goten try frantically to calm her down and hold her back. "Mum, please, wait! I'm sure there's a misunderstanding here." But Gine, still not caring at all, taunts Chi-Chi with a silly face and sticks her tongue out. "No misunderstanding here. Tell that granny to calm down and take her meds." Goku, meanwhile, watches on completely perplexed at the circus show he's just created in this new family dynamic. "Well, I guess I know who I take after most now." With Gine having said what's on her chest, she then turns to Goku to ask, "So son, we'll have to talk about your choice of wife another time, but where are we staying tonight? You know in hell we don't sleep. We haven't slept for decades now. All I want right now is a nice bed." Bardock agrees and adds, I agree. I'm dying for rest right now, after watching this mess go down. Are we going to stay at your place?" But Chi-Chi instantly screams in response, "Goku! I don't care where they go, but that woman is not staying at ours!" Goku immediately responds in fear at the wrath of Chi-Chi, and for the first time ever is forced to think fast, saying, Yes dear. Okay, I've got it. I know the perfect place for you guys to stay. Grab onto me. I'll instant teleport us there now." And so, trusting in Goku, Bardock and Gine grab onto their son. Bardock comments, "This place better be good," while Gine's more concerned with what Goku's even doing. What hand signal is he doing? Is he swearing? And the three then immediately instant teleport away. The three then arrive, and before them is Grandpa Gohan's old home, the house Goku grew up in as a child. Goku then quickly explains, "Yeah, this will be great. You guys can stay here from now on. This is Grandpa Gohan's old place, but he doesn't need it anymore." Gine, however, responds immediately confused, saying, "Huh? Grandpa Gohan? Your grandpa wasn't called Gohan, Kakarot. His name was Olaf." However, Goku is equally confused at Gine's response and responds, "Olaf? I'm talking about the Earthling Grandpa Gohan. When I arrived here on Earth, he was the first person to find me in the space pod, and he took care of me all through my childhood. He fed me, bathed me, and taught me martial arts. Without Grandpa, I wouldn't be alive today." After listening to Goku's story, Gine briefly thinks to herself, so it seems the people of this planet aren't hostile. Whoever this Grandpa Gohan is, thank you. But then immediately lets her tiredness get the better of her and begins yawning. She says to Goku quickly, "Okay, Kakarot, we're going to sleep then. Tomorrow, we start life as a new family, so don't be late and see us early in the morning." And Bardock nods along with a smile in agreement. Goku, understanding it's best to let them rest now, says, "Sure, I'll let you two enjoy your first night alive in a long time. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do, okay? I'll see you tomorrow, Mom and Dad." And then with that, Goku instant teleports away, leaving Gine and Bardock to look on at their new home forevermore, with Bardock commenting, "Not bad, Kakarot, not bad." Eventually, enough time passes that night turns into day and the next morning arrives. As typical of Saiyans, Gine and Bardock had gotten up bright and early and had already begun cooking and eating a massive fish that Bardock procured from the nearby lake. Gine comments with a mouth full, "This is delicious! Good catch, Bardock." As they're still eating, Goku suddenly arrives just as he said he would yesterday, to the surprise of both Gine and Bardock. Goku then begins excitedly, "Alright guys, glad you had breakfast. It's time to get going. Hope you're ready to see what the Earth has to offer. I think you guys will love it." Gine responds, reciprocating her son's excitement, saying, "Yeah, sure, finally. Let's see how you've been living all these years, Kakarot." While Bardock coolly replies, "Whatever. Let's get this over with. I'm starting to get hungry again already." "Alright then, follow me." And with that, the three then fly off. After some time, Goku, Gine and Bardock arrive in West City and are walking down the streets. Understandably, Gine is completely taken aback by what she's seeing. Wow! So this is how the Earthlings live. It's so clean and futuristic. It really was a good idea to send Kakarot here. This is so much better than Planet Vegeta. As they walk down, however, passers-by point and whisper at Gine and Bardock over their strange Saiyan armor. Gine can't help but notice and gets frustrated, saying, "If you're gonna point and stare, I'll give you something to look at." And starts powering up an energy ball to fire at the civilians. However, Goku is quick to intervene and stops Gine, calming her down by saying, No, Mom, we don't do that around here, okay? This is Earth, not Planet Vegeta. Let's save the energy balls for later, alright? And with a huff and a puff, Gine then agrees and stands down. Fine. Eventually, the three arrive outside a clothing mall and Goku immediately suggests, "I know, let's take you guys shopping for some new clothes. You've probably been wearing that armor for decades. I think it's probably time for a change. Haha. Go inside and get whatever you want. Don't worry about the cost. My friend Mr. Satan said he'll pay for everything on his tab. So go crazy and meet me outside when you're done." Just like that, as Gine and Bardock walk into their very first clothing store, the two are completely shocked by what they see. Gine remarks, "Wow, look at all the colors. There's so many." While Bardock says, "What is all this? Who on earth needs this many clothes?" After about an hour, we then see Goku outside, who is waiting and now becoming increasingly impatient. He says to himself, "Darn, I should have been more specific with the time. What's taking them so long? It's almost time for dinner." But suddenly, Gine then walks out and reveals herself in a stunning new dress. And she asks Goku, "So, what do you think, son?" Goku gives a thumbs up and tells her, "Looking great, Mum. Nobody's gonna point and stare at you now. Now where's Dad?" But just as he asks this, Bardock walks out and reveals his new outfit. Slightly out of place for a great grandfather. He asks, "Is this good, son?" But immediately, both Goku and Gine then explode in laughter, cracking up, and Gine in particular saying, "Who do you think you are? Go back and change, you old man. You're embarrassing us." The mortified Bardock then walks back inside the shop, looking back and thinking, "Suddenly, I'm really starting to miss being back in hell." So our story continues after Goku had taken Bardock and Gine shopping for new clothes. They are both now wearing those same clothes from last time, with of course Bardock looking particularly drippy. Gine and Goku are seen laughing at Bardock still, with Gine saying, "I can't believe you're going to go out in public like that. Honey, you're literally a great grandpa. The Earthlings are going to point and stare even more than before." And Bardock, who by this time has had enough of their comments, yells, "Be quiet already! That's enough, you two! I've left one hell and entered another! Kakarot, what else are we doing here? I'm not your entertainment for the day!" Goku, now wiping away a tear from his laughter, then tries to get serious and says, Well, since this was all paid for by my friend Mr. Satan, we should probably go pay him a visit. You guys will really love his mansion." Huh? Understandably, Bardock and Gine are a little spooked hearing the name of Goku's friend, with both muttering, "Mr. Satan?" Goku, however, then attempts to put them at ease, smiling and then saying, "Haha, don't worry guys, he's not evil. You two can call him Hercule if you'd prefer. Trust me, he's a really great guy, and a hero at that." Following this, Goku then places his fingers on his head saying, "Alright guys, hold on tight, we'll head there now." And as usual, Bardock and Gine then grab on, and the trio vanish much to the shock of passers-by. Soon after, they then arrive in front of Mr. Satan's massive mansion, and Hercule is seen watering his plants before noticing Goku saying, "Huh? Is that Goku?" Before waving over to him with a smile yelling, "Goku! Long time no see! What a surprise! What brings you down here? Does Chi-Chi need more money?" Goku just smiles and waves back, but then tells Mr. Satan, "Hey Mr. Satan, no, I think Chi-Chi is happy with the zenny you gave her last time. I actually came down here just to say hi and introduce to you my parents." Hercule is of course taken by some level of surprise on hearing this, responding, "Parents? Wow! How did I never hear about them before, Goku? Were they not at Gohan and Vidal's wedding? I guess I was more drunk than I thought that night to miss out on seeing them." Hercule then walks over and is immediately surprised at the uncanny resemblance to Goku, saying, "Wow! Goku, you weren't kidding! Your dad looks just like you! He even looks younger than you! You strange alien guys age really weird." Before then grabbing Bardock's hand for a handshake. "But anyway, my name's Hercule. It's a pleasure to finally meet Gohan's grandpa. I'm the father of Videl. What's your name, buddy?" Bardock, still holding Hercule's hand, questions, "Videl? Who's that?" Before continuing, "In answer to your question though, my name's Bardock, And that smiling buffoon behind me is my wife, Gine. We'd like to thank you for paying for these clothes of ours, Mr. Hercule. Hercule, however, replies with a confident smile saying, "No problem at all, Bardock, my buddy. Your son deserves far more money than what I give him. He's just too modest to take it, unlike Chi-Chi. He saved this planet plenty of times to deserve it. After all, I have way too much money for one man anyway. I earned a lot as Earth's World Martial Arts Champion. The strongest man on Earth, they used to call me." What did he just say? Bardock, on hearing this, looks back with a completely curious face as he thinks, "The strongest man on Earth? Does that mean he's even stronger than Kakarot? Impossible. But if Kakarot got so strong here, I wonder if Gine and I heavily underestimated how powerful the Earthlings are. I need to know this for sure." Bardock then, as a result, winds back a punch thinking, "Alright, Satan, let's try this!" And Hercule, realizing what's about to happen, then in complete shock responds, "Wait, what?" And immediately Hercule is punched by an attack that surpasses even what Android 18 ever did to him, and his brittle teeth come flying out. In an instant, Hercule is sent flying, until he crash lands on a nearby wall, being left barely able to speak. "Nice to meet you too." Meanwhile, Bardock is left awkwardly looking on with his fist still out, saying, Oh god, no. Looks like I didn't underestimate anybody." Gine, who has just watched all of this go down in the background, looks on with a blank face, unable to figure out any reasoning as to why her husband just did that. "Bardock, what the Dad! What did you do that for? Mr. Satan, I'm coming, hold on! Don't go into the light!" And then immediately, Goku, who is also shocked by Bardock's actions, runs at top speed to aid the now completely dazed Hercule. Meanwhile, inside the mansion, hearing all the commotion outside, Videl is alarmed. "Huh? Dad? What was that? I better go check it out." And immediately she puts down the food she was preparing, picks up the smiling baby Pan, and runs out to the surprise of her life. "Dad? What happened? Goku? What's going on here?" Mr. Satan, now conscious, bandaged up and in the arms of Goku, replies, "It's okay, Videl. I'm fine. I just met Gohan's grandparents, that's all. Let's just say, me and his grandpa really hit it off." And Videl looks back confused, saying, "Gohan's grandparents? He's never mentioned them before." Before Gine, who was watching on from a distance, finally notices Videl and instantly runs over to her and baby Pan. With a big smile on her face, Gine immediately comments, "Oh my, you're absolutely beautiful! And so young. Are you my grandson's wife? Gohan did really well with this one. This is what I call a woman fit for a Saiyan, unlike that old hag Kakarot married." Videl, who has never heard anyone talk about Chi-Chi that way, doesn't quite know how to react and replies awkwardly, "Old hag? Oh god, Chi-Chi isn't going to like that one bit. But thank you! It's so nice to meet you. My name's Videl. What's your name?" And Gine, as if at one with her granddaughter-in-law, holds Videl's hand and says, "My name is Gine, my dear. But who is this little one in your hands?" And with a bright smile, Gine looks at her great-granddaughter for the very first time and continues, She's so precious. Is this my great-granddaughter, Videl?" Videl, who is all too happy to let this amazing family moment happen, then replies, "Yes, yes it is, Gine. Would you like to hold her?" Before handing over Pan to a blushing Gine, who responds, "Yes, of course. Come here, you little angel." Gine then holds baby Pan in the air, who feels extremely happy as if she'd always been familiar in some way to Gine, and begins to giggle. Below, Gine cries tears of joy as the moment overwhelms her. For the very first time, she can feel and touch her extended family, something she never thought would ever happen after she died. She thinks in her head, "Oh Pan, I promise with all my heart I'll never let anything happen to you. I hope I live long enough this time to see you grow up." And watching from the sidelines, Goku gives off a massive smile, pleased at seeing his mother so happy, while Bardock gives off a smirk as he too breaks character at the heartwarming scene. Suddenly, from afar, a massive explosion is heard. Immediately, both Goku and Bardock are momentarily alarmed by the noise, with Bardock remarking, "What the hell was that?" Goku then, with a serious look, then says without hesitation, "I don't know, but it looks like it could be trouble. I'm going to check it out, Dad. You wanna come with?" And Bardock looks back at his son and nods. Instantly, the two set off to the scene of the noise, and soon it then becomes apparent where the explosion had come from. At a nearby bank, a gang of robbers had set up shop, terrorizing the station police. A masked robber with a rocket launcher behind him says with a smile, "Well, look what we have here. A tough guy policeman thinking he can put me behind bars again. Think again. I'm going to blow you to bits, old man." Instinctively, the policeman is shocked by the threat. "Huh? Wait, just hold on a minute. Take this!" The robber fires without a second's thought straight from his rocket launcher. At top speed, the rocket flies towards the officer, when suddenly Bardock appears, still with his arms in his jacket, instantly kicking the rocket into the air where it explodes without harming anyone. Bardock then stands looking coldly on at the robbers, remarking, "Made me come all this way for a bunch of 2-bit thieves, and here I thought this could have been fun." Understandably, the robber is left shell-shocked by what he's just seen, yelling, "What the? Who the hell are you?" before realizing someone else has just appeared right beside him. Huh? And having instant transmission right next to the robbers is Goku, who instantly kicks one of the robbers into the other. As the two lay on the ground in pain and in fear, one of them mutters, Who the hell are these guys? Wait a minute, this one looks familiar. Wasn't he on TV? He kind of looks like the guy from..." But before the robber can say any more, Goku cracks his knuckles and shouts to Bardock, "Hey Dad! Wanna play a game of volleyball with these guys?" "What?" Before immediately, Goku hits one of them into the direction of Bardock, yelling, "Here! Catch!" The robber as a result flies at speed to Bardock in absolute fear, before in one fell swoop, Bardock knocks the man into the ground with one hit, leaving the robber now in a complete daze and most likely completely paralyzed. The police, of course, watching nearby, are left in complete shock. What the hell? Who are these freaks? And Bardock, looking down at his victim, smirks and says, "Guess I went a little too hard on this lowly earthling." And Goku in the background just smiles, thinking to himself, Dad looks like he's finally having fun. But it looks like I'll need to teach these two how to control their power better. Eventually, the scene shifts back to Hercule and Videl, where Goku and Gine are saying their goodbyes. Alright, see you later guys, we're off to see everyone else. And Gine says, bye baby Pan, I'll see you really soon. And with that, the three Saiyans then take off. While flying, Bardock questions Goku asking, so, Kakarot, it's been a long day already. What's next? Another family member to meet? And Goku replies, not really family, but I've got the next best thing. There's someone I think you guys should meet. We're going to meet Vegeta. Vegeta? That's not possible! Leaving both Bardock and Gine completely bamboozled. Our story begins as Goku, Bardock and Gine now fly off towards Capsule Corp after Goku has shockingly just mentioned that they are going to meet Vegeta. Huh? Understandably, both Saiyans are shocked as they erroneously actually believe Goku's referring to King Vegeta and not his son, continuing, Vegeta? He's here too? While Gine's equally surprised, saying, unbelievable, so Kakarot, you brought him back to life too at some point, but when? Goku of course is confused at what they are saying though and replies obliviously, brought him back to life too? I'm not sure what you mean Mum, Vegeta's been here for decades now. Haha. What? Decades? On hearing this outburst, Bardock is instantly angered, commenting, how? Why? Kakarot, are you trying to tell us that you revived King Vegeta before even your own mother and father? Just what kind of son are you? Gine, who is confused, adds on, Kakarot? That makes no sense. How would you even know about the king to revive him? You were only a baby when we sent you here. Not even King Vegeta knew you came here. We had to send you in complete secret. Goku, who finally realizes that they are talking about someone else other than Vegeta, then replies, King Vegeta? I don't know who that is. I'm talking about an old friend here on Earth. Vegeta was a Saiyan who came to Earth on his own many years ago, with another guy called Nappa. They were evil to the bone at first, and came to destroy this planet and use its Dragon Balls. But after training with King Kai, I was able to stop both of them, but just barely. Over the years, though we've had a few more fights, he's changed, started a family, became my friend, and now Earth is his home too. Nappa! That name, where is that from? Suddenly, upon hearing Goku's story, Bardock has his memory jogged before suddenly realizing, Nappa! The elite guard of Prince Vegeta! Of course, so King Vegeta's brat somehow found his way to mine. Amazing. Just amazing. Looks like that damn Frieza failed in more ways than one to eliminate our mighty race. I wonder how many more of us are out there. Gine, hearing this, is overjoyed, imagining in her head a distinctly unbelievable scene, and responds, "Oh, the two Saiyan babies found each other in the end. How adorable. This is just like one of those old fairy tales from our childhood. You two must have become the best of friends after all these years. Saiyans always find a way to stick together. We're all family after all." But Goku's then quick to interrupt with his hands on the back of his head saying, about that, Vegeta may be good now, but he's actually tried to kill me at least twice now. I say we're friends, but I'm actually still not even sure now if he just wants to surpass me or still kill me. On hearing this, both Bardock and Gine go silent with Gine replying awkwardly, "Oh, right, how lovely of him." Bardock meanwhile then questions angrily, "So why exactly are we going to meet someone who tried to kill you? Doesn't seem like the most family day out thing to do." Bardock then flexes his muscles smugly and says, "Wait a minute, do you need me to sort out that brat for you? That is what fathers do, isn't it? I never did like the king anyway. The Vegeta bloodline always thought they were better than everybody else. What a bunch of frauds if you ask me." Goku with a humouring smile replies, No need for that, Dad. Though that would be pretty fun to watch." Eventually, looking down, Goku notices they're nearby Capsule Corp and tells his parents, "Alright guys, we're nearly at Vegeta's place. It's another really fancy place, just like Mr. Satan's. So Mum, please be on your best behaviour. No threatening Earthlings, and Dad, just try not to punch anyone this time." Bardock responds, "Just hope this Vegeta brat knows how to respect his elders. How come all your friends are rich anyway, and you're not?" To which Goku just swiftly avoids the subject and says, "Alright, so there it is. Let's land, guys." So the three then descend before a familiar blue-haired woman standing next to an even more familiar machine. Bulma, who was working on the time machine, then spots the trio and begins saying, "Goku? Is that you? Haven't seen you in a while. What are you doing here?" But her face then turns to a deep blush as she notices Goku's father Bardock next to him, reacting instinctively, "Oh my, and who's your handsome friend next to you? I don't think we've been introduced. I'm Bulma." However, the mood and atmosphere immediately changes as pure rage begins to envelop the Saiyan Gine as she mutters, That's my husband you're gawking at, you blue-haired hag! Keep your wrinkly hands off him!" Bulma, however, hears her words and responds, "Excuse me? What did you say? I don't know who you think you are, lady, but you better take that back before this gets ugly for you. Goku? Who is she?" But Gine, before Goku can even respond, then powers up with an aura saying, "Oh, what? I've had quite enough of you old earthling women. This one isn't going to get away with disrespecting me." Bulma, immediately realizing what she's just gotten herself into, then becomes petrified, saying, "Oh god," and then proceeds to yell, "Vegeta!" But her calls for help seemingly go out to no avail, as Gine then prepares a powered up punch. But just as she throws it, a hand appears out of nowhere, and immediately, Gine's punch is stopped by an angered Vegeta, who has no remorse for whoever this stranger is attempting to attack his wife. Vegeta finally begins to speak, saying, "Who the hell are you, woman? And why are you on my property? Leave now or be sent to the next dimension." Gine, however, just stands still shocked as she looks up and sees the royal prince of Saiyans, Vegeta. She mutters in awe, "The prince? I can't believe it's really you. You look just like your father." Before she then begins to bow down to him. Vegeta looks down with an emotionless face, but then notices Gine's tail and thinks, "A tail? How curious! So this woman is a Saiyan. But how?" He then spots Goku, however, and yells, "Kakarot! Of course this would be your doing! What's the meaning of this? Who the hell are these people, and why are they here? I'm not here to sign autographs for these low-class peasants." Goku, who is startled by Vegeta's questioning, then tries to begin explaining, saying, "Well, it's a long story, Vegeta, but it all started when..." But Bardock interrupts midway, however, saying, "Long story short, I'm Kakarot's father, and that woman bowing down to you is his mother. Gine, you can stand up now, you bootlicker." But as she raises her head, Bulma then with a smug face yells, "Yeah, you can stand up now that my husband has arrived. Your prince. In fact, he's probably your king now. Meaning, I'm your queen." Gine is of course shocked as she gets up and realizes what Bulma has just said, saying, This is the prince's wife? What spell did these old earth hags cast on these Saiyans? This is unbelievable. What a mismatch." Vegeta, however, disregarding Gine's comments, smiles as he walks over to Bardock and says, "I see. The father of Kakarot. Bardock, wasn't it? My father once told me about you. You were one of our finest battle leaders, one of our best performing planet conquerors, a real Saiyan, as he would say. I always was a bit surprised how a warrior like you spawned a clown like Kakarot." A happy and smug looking Bardock then immediately replies, "Really? The king said that about me? I had no idea he even knew who I was. Well, I guess it's only natural. Your father was a great man. I always had a real soft spot for him and the whole Vegeta family. Long live the Saiyan royalty." But these comments are immediately met by awkward reactions by Goku and Gine, with Goku saying, "Didn't you just say you didn't like the king or the Vegeta family?" With Gine adding, "And you called me a bootlicker." "I have no idea what you two are talking about." Bardock's face then, however, goes serious as he tells Vegeta, "Well, Prince, I have something to ask you now that I've met you. Something important. I remember back when I died, along with Planet Vegeta, Raditz had been assigned to your squad along with Nappa. Clearly, he must have survived if both you and Nappa did. Kakarot is not my only son, and it's not right that I feel satisfied with finding only him. I need to ask, where is my son Raditz? Is he here on Earth too, or another planet?" Gine adding on then says, "Yes, please, where is my eldest son? My long-haired baby. I can't wait to see my Raditz again. You need to tell us. Please, Prince Vegeta." Vegeta, with an uncomfortable face, slowly thinking on what to say, knowing Raditz was already dead, and by Goku's involvement no less, begins saying, Raditz. Well, he did survive along with me in Nappa, but he later passed away." "What? No! Raditz! Please tell me this isn't true!" And Gine, overcome with sadness, cries as she says, "Oh, my baby boy! Raditz, why didn't we see you in hell?" Bardock's face soon then turns to anger as he demands, "Vegeta! Who killed my son? Name them now! I'll not stop till I destroy them! Please, Prince, I must know. By my pride as a Saiyan, they will pay!" Goku, meanwhile, has a completely awkward looking face at this point as he realizes this is going to be a much bigger issue than he first thought it would be, remarking, "Uh-oh, this isn't going to end well, is it?" Vegeta, meanwhile, looks back sinisterly at Goku, taking pleasure from this moment, thinking to himself, "Ha ha How perfect! I could leave his own father to take care of this clown. I don't think he'd even have the heart to fight back. But as he looks on at the trio of Saiyans, as Bardock powers up in rage, Goku appears to shush Vegeta at all costs, putting Vegeta now with the awkward task of figuring out how best to answer Bardock. Eventually Vegeta then sighs and begins his improvised tale saying, It was Frieza! When planet Vegeta was destroyed, myself, Nappa and Raditz survived as we were out on another mission at the time. When Frieza learned of our survival, he decided on keeping all three of us around as mere servants. However, after some time, Raditz couldn't take it anymore, and bravely attempted to take on Frieza himself, one-on-one. But it didn't work out as planned, unfortunately, and he died as a result, as a hero. Upon hearing this legendary story, Gine's tears turn from sadness to happiness as she thinks in her mind, So, my baby boy died a hero. My son, the bravest Saiyan there ever was, standing up to that monster. No wonder we didn't see him in hell. He must have gone to heaven. I can rest easy knowing he's in a much better place than where we were. Bardock, holding his fist in the air, is still angry, however, saying, That damn Frieza! First he kills me and my wife, and then he takes out my son too. What I wouldn't give to see a Saiyan get revenge and send that little demon to the next dimension. It would be the ultimate revenge. I'd thank that man for the rest of my days. Huh? Goku, feeling this is his chance to make up for the things he did, then excitedly puts his hand in the air to reveal he killed Frieza and begins saying, Well, actually Dad, Frieza was beaten by... But before he can finish saying anything, Vegeta then slides in front of Goku unexpectedly and whispers to him, Shut it, Kakarot! I need to continue my lie for them so that they don't figure out what you did. Before confidently yelling, By me! By Vegeta, the Prince of Saiyans! Ha ha ha! I destroyed Frieza single-handedly and avenged our race on a planet named Namek. After an intense battle, Frieza ended up killing my best friend at the time, Nappa. And after seeing this, I became the legendary Super Saiyan, the first of our kind to do it in millennia, and sent that demon to the other world soon after. Ha 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 ha! Immediately, both Bardock and Gine are completely enamored with the prince, with both reciting, Wow! Amazing, Vegeta! As expected of our prince. What a guy! What a man! Leaving Goku just awkwardly standing there with his spotlight taken, muttering, Vegeta, I think that story would have went fine even if we just told the truth, you know. But Vegeta just responds, Quiet, clown! I'm doing this for you. Despite this, Bardock then says with his eyes closed, Vegeta, I applaud you for avenging us all. But, even though you got revenge for the Saiyans, I still can't help but wish there was a way I could see him myself and beat that tyrant into the dirt. What he did is personal to me. I tried to fight him at the very end, but was powerless. But now, 30 years later, if I could just go back in time and fight him then, it'd be a completely different story. If only. Hearing this, Vegeta begins to give off a dastardly smirk as he says, Oh really? Well, that could be interesting. I may have just the way you could do that, Bardock. He then looks over at Bulma and shouts, Woman, is that damn time machine ready yet? I may have found a fine usage for it. Leaving Goku, Bardock and Gine in shock from what Vegeta has just implied. But that was it for part 4 of my original story, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag time machine in the comments down below, and let me know if you need to see part 5 now after seeing that ending. As mentioned, this entire manga has been written, illustrated and narrated by myself, so if you want to support my work, you can do so on Patreon for just $3 a month and instantly see this entire manga as well as 250 plus others. All links will be in the description and pinned comment, but if you want to see more of my signature style of content, click on one of these 2 videos on the right now. Until next video guys, cheers.